involved aren't interested or willing to do it, there's really not a whole lot else that can be done.
We can unravel this.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to Sister Wives Underground and hit that like button if you're ready for the dirt on the Brown family's changing relationships. Today's tale will shock even the most devoted fans. It's a shocking twist in the relationship between Cody Brown and Christine's new husband, David Woolley. Cody Brown, the now fallen polygamist patriarch and longtime face of Sister Wives, is in the headlines again. But this time, it's not for drama with his wives, it's for something much more unexpected. Cody recently suggested he might be willing to spend more time with David Woolley, the man Christine Brown, his former third wife, wedded in 2023. Yes, you read that correctly. And here's the twist. After all those years of bad blood between Christine and Cody, Cody seems to be offering an olive branch, maybe even proposing a double date. The suggestion seems far-fetched at first glance, but David didn't reject it out of hand. What's driving this bizarre reversal? Is Cody really trying to make up, or is there more going on behind the scenes? Christine, for her part, is unfazed. Since departing Cody in 2021, she's overhauled her life and taken a big leap towards monogamy with open arms. Her new spouse, David, a widower and dad of 8, has introduced stability, respect, and an invigorating sense of equality into her life. Their love grew rapidly, and by October 2023, they had their dream wedding in an amazing ceremony in Moab, Utah, with friends and family in attendance. TLC even broadcast the event during their Sister Wives wedding special. Hooked yet? Because the drama doesn't stop here. In fact, it's only the start of a whole new chapter in Christine's life. Their romance began online and took off quickly. David wasn't only a love interest, he was also an advocate for Christine's autonomy. And he wasn't like Cody, who attempted to command her. David urged her self-reliance and fought hard against the manipulation that characterized her earlier marriage. What's even more inspiring is that Christine didn't only discover love, she discovered a sense of purpose. With David, she's established a successful Airbnb empire. Their collaborations speak to trust and mutual partnership, attributes which had been absent in Christine's life for too long. As witnessed on Sister Wives Season 19, their relationship is built on respect, cooperation, and boundaries. David doesn't care to play Cody's old games. And Christine? She's standing tall, living proof that there's life and love beyond polygamy. So what's Cody's motive here? Is he attempting to remain relevant in a new time where the women he once controlled are forging their own paths? Or is there something more, something deeper and more human, a need for closure and peace? Whatever his motive, one thing is certain. Christine's transformation from a third wife in disillusionment to a successful, confident woman in a monogamous, loving marriage is nothing short of inspirational. And as we see Cody sort through these new dynamics, one can't help but wonder, is this the start of a truce or merely another bizarre chapter in the never-ending saga of the Brown family? Stick around because the story has just begun. Christine Brown has done something that few women in her position ever have the courage to do. She left a decades-long polygamous marriage and started her life anew. And based on her radiant glow, it was the best decision of her life. Formerly Cody Brown's third wife, Christine is now the picture of self-assured, independent woman who at last prioritized her own happiness. But just when everyone assumed the tale had settled into a tranquil new chapter, Season 19 of Sister Wives blindsided us all. With a surprise no one was ready for, Cody Brown proposed something nearly fantastical, a men's trip with David Woolley, Christine's new husband. Yes, the very same David Woolley who took his place in Christine's life following a highly publicized and emotional split. Why would Cody, whose controlling nature and jealousy have long been legendary, suggest a road trip with his ex-wife's new husband? He said it was an attempt to establish cordial relations, confessing that he actually liked having David around. Christine, naturally shocked, didn't automatically rule out the possibility, but she was guarded. Who knows Cody's capriciousness better than she does, after all? So what did David do? With graciousness, but boundaries as well. Although he wasn't outright hostile to Cody's proposal, he was obviously cautious. David is aware that maintaining a peaceful distance may be the key to maintaining his and Christine's joy as it is now. And Christine? She recognized the proposal for what it was: odd, unexpected, and perhaps problematic. But here's the thing: perhaps, possibly, there may be some benefit to this odd offer. Picture it. Cody, left in a monogamous relationship with Robin, now that his plural marriages have fallen through, confronting David, a steady, centered widower who respects Christine's autonomy for real. A guy's trip may be just what Cody requires. Not to connect exactly, but to look back. Confrontation with David could inspire Cody to rethink the past, accept that he was wrong, and, dare we say it, mature. For David, the vacation may provide an opportunity to firmly but respectfully set boundaries, demonstrating once and for all to Cody that Christine is no longer his responsibility. Their discussions may ease long-standing tensions and redefine roles in their merged family. If undertaken with mutual respect, the vacation could be the first step toward a more peaceful coexistence, by them and for the children in between. And while supporters fantasize about this possible guy's getaway, Christine is forging ahead in full swing. Let's discuss her amazing makeover, inside and out. Christine Brown. Woolley is entering summer with a dazzling new look, a blonde bombshell transformation that has utterly shocked her followers. While she's always sported a subtle dirty blonde colour, this brighter, deeper style turns heads and perfectly reflects the secure new woman she's become. From her humble start, where she was living with 6 kids in a traditional polygamous family, to now spreading happiness and liberty, Christine's transformation is nothing but inspirational. The audience first saw her when she was pregnant with daughter, Truly, when her family was leading a simple, humble life. But that simplicity belied a profound inner conflict, a desire for love, acceptance, and liberty. Now she's not only surviving, she's thriving. Christine's transformation is more than just hair. It's about releasing decades of emotional baggage and stepping confidently into the life she always merited. And the world is paying attention. So, what's next? Will Cody and David really hit the road as a team? Can there be peace between past and present? And how will Christine keep on flourishing in this new era of her life? Hang in there, because in Sister Wives' world, nothing goes unspoken for long. All the way back in the early days of Sister Wives, Christine's look mirrored that of her frugal life. No flashy outfits, not a lot of makeup, and very little to no self-indulgence, showing shoulders or dressing in tight-fitting attire. That just wasn't part of the very conservative family environment. But oh, how things have evolved. Now Christine Brown Woolley is not only polygamy-free, she's radiant with an entirely new sense of self. Since leaving the plural household in 2021 and moving to Utah, Christine has rewritten every aspect of her narrative. She's married to a man who respects her, she's exploring the globe, and she's rediscovering a version of herself that was hidden for years. Let's discuss her style revolution. Christine once attended conservative layers to leather jackets, elegant tattoos, and sexy, confident boldness. Recently, she and her husband David took a romantic foreign trip, capturing scenes that seemed a lifetime away from her previous life. And it's not just the trips that show her newfound happiness, it's in everything she does. Christine is also set to come out in early September with her real-life therapist memoir, a book that will reveal even more about her makeover and the real stuff behind the cameras. Fans are already abuzz about it. And in addition to her personal and emotional make-under, Christine unveiled a show-stopping new hairstyle, a look what many described as her blonde bombshell look. Those days of dusty, washed-out colour are behind her. She's since adopted a sunned California blonde aesthetic that yells freedom and self-love. In one recent picture, she's sitting in her car, hair immaculately tousled, grinning openly with a fresh face, and at least a decade younger. Her followers couldn't get enough. "You're looking amazing," one fan swooned. "You're radiant, girl. Go live your best life." Another said, "It's incredible what occurs when you shed all that dead weight and the ramen noodles." The compliments weren't merely self-serving, they were overflowing with happiness from fans who have been supporting Christine from the very beginning. And they have every right to. Season 19 made it unmistakably clear Christine Brown Woolley is not merely holding on, she's thriving. Her husband David still dotes on her and champions her every move. The two of them have opened up 2 Airbnb properties, testifying to their entrepreneurial initiative and their resolve to create a life on their own terms. She's also succeeding in her health and wellness company, inspiring others as a multi-level marketing opportunity. But even greater than any company or makeover, as beautiful as it could be, Christine's real glow-up is of the heart. She's discovered what makes her soul happy. She's discovered peace. She's finally free. This isn't merely Christine's Barbie era. This is her renaissance. And while the world observes her finding joy again, embracing who she is, and living life on her own terms, here's one thing that's certain. Christine Brown Woolley is finished looking back. She's only going forward, and she's bringing the sunshine along. What was once a close-knit household, tied together by mutual responsibilities, intersecting marriages, and a net of emotional ties, has fallen apart into something new and intensely intimate. For Cody Brown, the man who was formerly at the center of a large polygamous kingdom, the new emotional landscape is bewildering. And as he confronts the remnants of what was, he appears anxious to remake the story. In a twist of fate, Cody has become strangely interested in Christine's new beau, David Woolley. The dichotomy couldn't be starker. Where Cody demanded attention through domination and force, David glides with steady, measured confidence. He embodies a form of love that is not based on domination but on equality, and maybe that's precisely why he's so captivating and so threatening to Cody. But Cody's fascination isn't necessarily about David, it's about the life that Christine has constructed in his absence. Once his third spiritual wife in a decades-long polygamous marriage, Christine has since adopted a devoted, monogamous relationship that is the antithesis of what she had previously known. Her transition from emotional compromise to single-minded devotion isn't merely an individual transformation, it's a reflection of a larger cultural shift. After years of surviving the emotional rollercoaster of plural marriage, jealousy, abandonment, competition, Christine finally healed in something simpler, something more profound. Her bond with David wasn't a coincidence, it was the product of a deliberate decision to open her heart, risk love, and seek emotional security in a world that once rejected it from her. From the start, their bond was evident. They communicated with each other on a level neither had anticipated. He was a father who had known loss. She was a woman who had devoted years to putting others ahead of herself. She created something with him that was uncommon, a relationship founded on respect, stability, and emotional integrity. Their love progressed quickly, but purposefully. What began as comfortable conversation became real affection, and ultimately a lovely wedding in the rural, picturesque town of Moab, Utah. Their love was not merely a personal milestone, it was a statement. They were creating a life out of love, not duty, authenticity, not facade, and it resonated not only with their families, but with audiences everywhere. That happiness which had been absent from Christine's life for so long was at last apparent. Their wedding was broadcast as part of Sister Wives, and viewers could sense the sincerity. It was not just a TV show, It was a healing moment. Meanwhile, Cody was still mired in the emotional detritus of what had been. With only one of the original plural wives remaining, Robin, he seemed more resentful than reflective. His efforts at examination were often tainted with bitterness, blaming others for the collapse instead of accepting responsibility for his own part in the breakdown of the family. With each new Sister Wives episode, however, the gulf only appeared to widen. As Christine was forging ahead, Cody was reliving the same steps over and over again, struggling with loss, pride, and an identity he no longer knew. The tension between them intensified week by week. And then, in a surprise move, Cody extended an offer that left even the most ardent of fans stunned. In a flash that had fans rubbing their eyes in shock, Cody Brown, who was once so protective and possessive, came forward and semi-officially proposed that he hang out with his ex-wife's new husband. His explanation? To foster peace, to be courteous, and close the emotional gaps. For fans who know Cody's past, however, the turnaround felt too good to be real. This offer wasn't staged as part of a well-rehearsed scene from their reality show. It came in the midst of an unscripted, spontaneous moment on their show. Cody was reclining in a brightly lit room, the camera catching every twitch of emotion on his face. As he flatly stated, he rather enjoyed David Woolley, the fellow who now occupied the position that he had previously held in Christine's heart. And then he delivered the true bombshell. He proposed the two of them go on a road trip with him, just the boys. The reaction was divided, on camera and off. Christine, being the peacemaker that she was, replied with measured diplomacy. She did not shut the suggestion down immediately, but her shock was evident. After all, this was Cody, the same man who had insisted on loyalty without offering it back, the same man who had used commitment as a weapon with the primary wife over the others. David, on the other hand, was much more cautious. While he liked the gesture at face value, he could not discount the underlying connotations. Why now? Why this sudden desire to connect? As a man who had assisted Christine in reclaiming her emotional safety, David knew that keeping healthy boundaries intact was paramount. To accept the invitation too readily might jeopardize the tranquility they had so diligently established. And then there's history. Cody had been talking long enough to alienate his other wives, demanding absolute loyalty without providing the same. His favoritism hurt, and his refusal to own up to it made those hurts worse. So to many, this invite seemed less of a healing gesture and more of a political maneuver. But still, the notion wasn't totally without appeal. In fact, some viewers of the show believed that Cody's idea had merit. Could a joint journey of these two vastly disparate men, one influenced by decades of polygamy, the other built upon traditional monogamous principles, bring about change? Maybe Cody, introduced to a more measured model of love and relationship, might come to better understand the virtues of respect, humility, and emotional stability. For David, it might be a reminder of his unshakable commitment to Christine's happiness. His firmness and patience may be tried, but they may also strengthen his position as a reliable figure in her life. And then there's the larger issue, the children. As the new generation matures and starts making their own opinions about love, parenting, and devotion, what type of example will they learn? A peaceful, collaborative coexistence between David and Cody can minimize family stress. It could take uncomfortable holidays, mutual gatherings, and upcoming milestones, and turn them into a more positive thing, something the whole extended family would be able to learn from. But the question still remains. Is this truly about reconciliation, or is it another means for Cody to take back control of a tale that no longer belongs to him? What was originally perhaps a hip-sounding tagline has evolved into something much deeper. Christine Brown's makeover isn't a performative reinvention, it's a declaration. Veteran watchers and new enthusiasts alike have been drawn to her transformation from a woman bound by rigid religious norms into a person radiating freedom, self-assurance, and unapologetic joy. Once a dutiful member of a rigorously structured polygamous family, Christine has utterly rebranded herself. She's no longer bound by humble dress codes or the emotional confines of her previous life. Rather, she is an icon of self-worth, transformation, and empowered existence. When Christine initially surfaced on Sister Wives, her existence was tied by customs she grew up with: conservative clothing, long-sleeved shirts, and modest hair. She was heavily pregnant with her youngest child, and she resided in a home that was full of duties that were shared and had silent emotional costs. She was living according to the values of humility and religious obligation back then. That woman, however, has now entered a completely different world. Having left behind her polygamous marriage, Christine boxed up not only her stuff, but herself, and relocated to a different state to begin anew. From there, she undertook a courageous redefinition. She experimented with hairstyles that were edgy and contemporary. She acquired symbolic tattoos and fitted into stylish leather items that reflected her self-assurance rather than obedience. It's not a fashion statement, though it does look quite stylish. It's a statement of independence. Christine's latest makeover may be her most beautiful one yet. She swapped her formerly subdued blonde tones for a bright golden color that positively shines in the summer sun. Her new hair color, blonde, beachy, and full of light, is a reflection of the happiness inside her. It's not so much the way she appears, it's what she's fought through. In a genuine selfie inside her car, Christine looks fresh-faced and makeupless with a warm, natural smile. It's the kind of carefree beauty that only results from genuine inner calm. Fans who'd been following her story for over a decade were immensely touched by the photo. It wasn't a setup, it wasn't perfect, it was genuine, and that made it unforgettable. Messages flooded in on social media. Fans complimented her new look, but more importantly, her new spirit. Some labeled this as her Barbie Era, an empowerment of the feminine, of self and confidence. Others viewed something else, a renaissance, a full rebirth of a woman who for years had been emotionally suffocated and spiritually muted. Her radiance is not simply the byproduct of sun-bleached locks or good lighting. It is the byproduct of claiming her voice, her identity, and her joy after a lifetime of being instructed to silence her. And as the fans look back on how far she has evolved from those early days of reality TV life, something is undoubtedly clear. Christine Brown Woolley isn't merely getting by, she is thriving. What began as a humble personal evolution is now something much larger, a movement of self-discovery, strength, and empowerment. Christine Brown's glow-up has become more than just a moment, it's a message, and both devoted followers and curious newcomers are taking notice. This former conservative matriarch, who was used to her place in a tightly knit polygamous family, has rebranded herself before a national audience. Free from the strictures of her previous religious life, Christine has adopted a new persona, one based on freedom, confidence, and unapologetic joy. When she originally came onto the scene of reality television, Christine depicted the life she knew. A mother of 6, she lived by strict dress codes, long sleeves, covered shoulders, and demure hairstyles. Her choices in fashion mirrored the modesty and humility her community placed above self-expression. She was pregnant with her youngest daughter at the time, residing within a home where duties were divided, rules were strict, and individuality came second. But that chapter's over, and the one she's opening is vibrant, daring, and uniquely hers. Having left behind her plural marriage, Christine took the brave step, both physically and psychologically, of beginning anew in a new state. And along with that new beginning came a boost of confidence. She started playing with bold new styles, getting empowering tattoos, and incorporating fitted leather into her fashion sense, all quiet but strong indicators of a woman rising into her authentic expression. And now she's turning heads with a total style makeover. Christine has just unveiled a dramatic new look, swapping out her previously subdued blonde colors for a warm, sun-soaked golden color. Her new locks are alive and bright, exactly the way she feels inside. It's more than just a superficial change, it's a reflection of her transformation. The sun-touched, beachy style exudes heat, vitality, and happiness, mirroring her newly adopted lifestyle perfectly. In one relaxed photo, snapped inside her vehicle, Christine smiles freely, with little makeup and allowing her true self to radiate. The picture went viral among her fanatics, not because it was pretentious or glamorous, but because it showed something genuine. The happiness on her face, the serenity in her eyes, it all meant something. Those who have been following Christine for a decade or more were quick to praise her. Some loved her stunning new appearance as her Barbie Era, a light-hearted but strong reference to femininity and freedom. Others saw it as a renaissance, an artistic and personal awakening after years of repression. What really sticks with audience members isn't the beauty, it's the courage. Her courage to step out of a life that no longer fit, her courage to move toward what was real, her rediscovery of joy. And as fans look back at where her journey started, the contrast is as breathtaking as it is motivating. In the early seasons of Sister Wives, Christine's contributions to the family were overshadowed. Her work quiet, her sacrifices unseen, but incremental changes started to creep in. The initial signs were subtle, a swipe of makeup here, some highlights there, and soft waves in her hair. These were not simply stylistic decisions, they were quiet rebellions, early signs of a woman starting to find herself again. Now, all those little changes have become something bold and unmistakable. Christine has completely owned her uniqueness with a redo that exudes brightness, assurance, and self-acceptance. Her transformation is not just physical, it's a product of intense inner struggle, and standing behind this emerging Christine is a partner who actually sees and believes in her. Since marrying David Woolley, a man who provides emotional availability and unshakable support, Christine has only kept growing. Their relationship isn't based on control or conditions, it's founded on partnership. Together, they've begun investing in rental vacation properties, constructing a future that's both secure and adventurous. In the meantime, Christine is still going strong with her wellness business, encouraging others to live on purpose as she remains committed to her own genuine journey. All of this is happening at a time when public interest in Christine's life is higher than ever. Her new memoir, a poignant, no-holds-barred tale of escaping a controlling family situation and taking back her life, is one of the most highly anticipated releases of the year among fans who have been watching for years. Fans want to hear the complete story from her own mouth, the heartbreak, the healing, and the rebirth. Her platinum locks, now shining from her face like radiance and strength, are not just a remake, it's a transformation. Without words, it speaks of freedom. On social media, fans have overrun the internet with admiration. Many declare she has never looked more beautiful than she does now, even compared to her first days on the show. Some people note how much her new look accentuates her similarity to her daughter, evidence that strength and beauty are deep-seated generation after generation. But the glow-up is more than just skin deep. What fans love most is the twinkle in her eyes, the naturalness of her smile, and the buoyancy in her being. She's no longer weighed down by what other people think of her, or bound by another person's vision of what she should look like. That liberty, that happiness, it's genuine, and it's strong. Her path is inspiring others on a massive scale to stop living in compromise. Cody Brown Woolley is now a living testament of what may occur when one decides to choose themselves, when they leave behind what no longer works for them and step into a life that does. Those around her, friends, family, even her grandchildren, have all observed the change. She's more cheerful, more engaged, and irrefutably alive. Whether she's trekking a scenic path, greeting guests at her new rental homes, or simply spending time with her family, Christine's love for life is evident in all that she does. And that's the most important story.